art students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again. And this is going to be part 9 of the series, Let's Make a Comic Book Together. So for all of you that don't know, this series is for those people that want to create their own comic book. They're tired of seeing other people do their comic books and get the glory and the money and the fame and the blah, blah, blah. And they have, the drive and the passion to make their own comic book, but don't know how to start or where to start or who to ask for help. So this is what this series is about. So if you just happen to luck up upon it, go back and look at part 1 all the way up to part 9. And we're going to continue to go until we got everything together and you know how to make a comic book. So no more rambling. Let's go and do part 9. And this is the hips and the abs for female. Yeah, throw some booty in there as well. All right, let's go. All right, so we're going to do the female abs today. But basically, I'm just going to break it down to the abs and the hips so we can move things along a little more quickly. So, breaking it down to its most finest point. When you were young, you used to draw houses. If you're an artist, you drew a house. Some way, somehow, you drew a house, okay? Doors, windows. You drew that house, all right? So, drawing the female hips and the abs are the same thing, except you bring it out. You bring those walls out, and then you go back in. It's kind of like drawing home base. And you're just flipping it over like that. That's all it is. You're just gonna bring it out. So, doing the front of the female, we're gonna do her hips, and then we're gonna throw her stomach in there as well. So we're gonna do this home plate. Draw your center line so you can keep straight. Remember, instead of just drawing straight down, you're gonna go out more, like that. Round off the bottom, and then you have the female hips because you come in, and then you can go up like this. Now the legs, just curve it around. Now, because you have the female junk in here, you want to bring the legs down this line, and you curve it around. Bring it down, and you curve it around. Because women are going to have that space. Just like men, we're going to have space between our legs, but women are just more pronounced. Okay, and you just curve that, like so. So you have that home base, going up, and you have, if you remember doing this, in our last episode, we have that, and then you have the heart for the breasts. We're going to have that. So this is going to be this piece here, and then you have your breasts down here somewhere. So with this line, instead of doing this mountain, you want to have it kind of slope like that, almost like a Coke bottle, like you draw a bottle of soda. Like that. So you're going to have more of this than this. And then come down. And you don't want to have the abs like the man. You want to keep it slim. Even though you have a muscular woman, you don't want it, and then all the way down. So you want to kind of break it up. So you have this point, and the belly button is right about here. Usually right below that waistline. So what you can do is have that indentation right here to show that the female has muscles, and maybe right here at the top, and then a little bit on the sides. You don't want it to go all the way down. Now, one thing about the female, the legs are actually shaped for the hips. It's actually shaped like this. It curves around like that. That's just something for you to remember because of the bone, the way the bone is shaped. So you can actually have that lump, and then curve around. Sometimes you see women that have that lump right there. You can have 2 or just the 1, but usually it's because of the bone. And then you have that space, and then you come around. Bring these legs in. I mean, the legs could be split apart. Because her is not as wide as the male's. Her rib cage, thank you, Brian, is usually not as wide as the male's, and then you would have like room for the breasts if the breasts are going to come a little any lower. or lower than you know, the norm. Is there a norm for breast lengths? And then you have the hands. All right, so now that we have the front, let's work on the back. And the back is the same way. You have the home plate, center line. That way you keep it straight with the center line. Now it depends on the type of woman you have or drawing. You want the more athletic, or you want the dancer type, or you just want the thick type, you would make this out wider. So same thing here. The legs are going to come around. Okay, well, let's not get to the legs yet. From at the bottom here, you want to go down and curve up like that. Almost like doing a grappling hook, I guess. If you were upside down, you'd be doing this. Like a justice scale or curvy T or umbrella or whatever. So you have that, but you don't want it to come all the way over. Go up a little bit and then do a Y. Y or V. Y or V. Whichever one. So at this point here, you start to curve around. And remembering because your legs are going to come like this from the inside. So you're still going to have that little space there. This is when I get demonetized. That's why I'm going to Udemy. Like so. Pretty simple. And then you can put that little dip right there and come down. But you only see this if you're doing like really close-ups or like pin-ups or something like that, something to that degree. And then again, you know, you have your spine is coming up, and then you have your rib cage like that. Pretty simple to do the female because there's not really a lot of lines in it. That's why you don't want to do it like really muscular. I mean, I could bring that up. I would have brought this up a little bit more, so that you know. And then if the woman has a really tight booty, then you can put just a little bit of the dimple in there because it would be more like this. And how it dips in here, you have that little dimple, so it would dip in and come around like that. But it depends on the type of character you're drawing again, and then you have the space there for the woman junk. Yeah, I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Okay, so doing the side. The same way you would do a heart, upside down. And the side is the same way, except you're going to cut in to this, and then down to this down to the halfway point. So you're going to have this. This is what's going to be left over. You see that? Well, you couldn't see that. Once again, Brian, upside down heart. And I shifted my camera deliberately so that I wouldn't go off paper. I wouldn't go off camera. Heart. You should cut down here. You have that. You have that. This is what you're going to be left over with. Just this, and that part of the heart. So, if I did that, and forgive me for my words because I'm eating a Pop-Tart because I'm hungry. So, we're going to come down, up, and around. And this is the booty part, so you're sloping however you want to be sloped, and we'll get into that when I finish it. So from here we're gonna go up, and then there's the back. So here's the front, and you're gonna come down like that. Basically, you're gonna come down into this because the legs are shaped, the hips are shaped like this. You're going to have that there. They're actually going to come into this little piece. They're actually going to come into this little piece here. So you have this, and that, and then the legs. And then come into this piece. And if you want to give her a little more stomach, you can. Since I'm using so much red, let me just go ahead and black it. As I say, it's going to come up, the hips are going to be here. It's going to come into that. And then you have your breast here, that little piece of rib cage, because it's going to come down like this. And then you have your stomach like that. It's really, really simple. So, you know, depending on if you want the athletic, if you want somebody with a flat booty, you want, you know, the dancer, you want the big booty coming out like that, or if you just want somebody, you know, with a just more flatter body, you know, you have those three to choose from. I mean, you know, wide range to choose from, really. But as long as you get the shape here right, and that's just the easy way, upside down heart, cut it, and then where it's already cut like that, and then bring this out from there, because the crotch goes up and out. It comes around like that. So it's going to come out. Now, if you want to draw, you know, a fatter woman, then just add a little stomach to it, like that. Or if you want to draw, you know, a pregnant woman, like that. It's just, you know, I can't think of what I'm going to say. Is limitless. The sky's the limit. Yeah, let's get this belly off of this woman. She's a superhero. So you don't want a lot of lines in a female. Firstly, you know, a lot of muscular lines. You don't want it. It takes away her femininity, I guess. I don't know. It takes away her whatever. And then, you know, you can have a couple lines down here. I wouldn't put this. This is just me showing you how the rib cage is. Maybe just this part, this, and that line. But, you know, you're going to dress the character anyway. So if they have a belt, you're not going to see all of that stuff. Or if they have like the shorts on. That's why I like to get my characters a little more booty. It's just me. This is a Brian thing, I guess. Like that, you know, and you have the shirt or however, you know. So a lot of these extra lines are not going to be seen anyway. Your arms. So, yeah. Okay, so we got your front, your back. Oh, side. Let's do a side position. All right, side position. It's going to be the same way as doing the house. Switch pencils. Bring it down. You're going to want your side hip. Your side hip. And you want to determine how much that character is going to be turned. So this is your center line. Come here. And here. And here. So you basically, you're just turning
4.95 miles, 1.52 kilometers. East of the center of Emerald Hills, Georgia.
Okay. Alexa, wanting to speak. Didn't answer. It depends on how much your hips are turned. So I always do sidelines, my two sidelines. This is as wide as the character is going to be. If the person's turned this much, again, like that. So let's use this one, or even opposite side. Opposite side. Because you're going to have a direction line. Your character is going to be turning in some direction. So that's the starting point. And you don't have to have them, you know, the hips lined up like that. You can, I mean, because they could be, you know, they could be leaning up on one leg or tilted down or something. But this is the basic, your starting line. So, again, here, there. And then, you know, you round it off. As I said, you round it off. And then you can put your legs however you want it. What am I writing on? Then your hips, your waist, this part. Now, to round that off, as I said, you have your stomach coming in, down, maybe around a little bit. Your belly button is going to be just below the most narrow part. And then you have your chest here and your hips over here. The way the pelvic bone goes, you're going to have, forgive me, I think I need a drink of water. You have to remember your hips are going, the leg is going to go like this. Same thing on the other side. That's where these muscles come in to play, or push in or push out. It's like that. So you're going to have this come here, this hip, come here, which is like this part in the back, which is, where is it at? Like this part in the back, right here, and then you come out. Remembering the legs come out, leaving room for the junk. So this comes like that, because this is your rib cage coming down, and then you have this, and sometimes you have that pelvic dip like that, and then you have the woman, depending on how much fat or depending on how much fat is on your character. So you can have this, slim it down a little bit. And this. As I said, I wouldn't have all the lines connecting on the stomach. And then this comes in here. The pelvic bone curving around the legs. The legs are going to come from the back like that. And then, as I said, once again, once you dress your character, then a lot of this, becomes unnecessary, shall we say? Yeah, let's say, Brian. But the one thing is, you have to remember to not make your character too tall, and that's one thing I always do. I'm so used to drawing the puzzle pieces for the men that it won't be too tall. So anytime I draw a character, number one, I don't start with the waist. I'll start with the torso. But if I'm doing a character, however I'm going to do that character, I'll do the rough sketch to make sure that the person is as tall as I want it to be, and the lines are right, the angles are right. Then I'll go even further than that. I'll do this. This is actually what I'll do when I'm drawing my character, however my character is going to be. That's my character. That's my sketch right there. Hopefully you can see that. My light is doing this. It's not doing as bright. Yes, it is doing this bright and dark thing again. Then after I get that, then I will come back with the torso. And with the torso, most times, and I've said this with certain people, if I'm bending the character, I won't do the tuna can. I won't do the little square piece here. I'll do the ball in the stomach. Then I'll connect the rest to it. Now once I have everything lined up the way it should be lined up, then I'll come back and I'll try to slim it down a little bit. I say, okay, this is the female, so I'm going to slim her down. So it's going to be coming around here and around here, like that. And then the heart connects to the arms. Arms are a little more slimmer. Shoulders are more squared off, smaller arms. And then the neck, small neck, shoulder, sloping shoulder, squared off arm. Then once I have that, then I'll do more detail. I'll go back and I'll make sure it's shaped like a woman. the female character. My collarbone tilts up. Slim it down even more if need be. And I'll suck that in if have to be. Curve that. And then I'll say, well, maybe that might be a little too long there. Of course, shoulder again, pointed chin, bigger head to represent the female. And then, I could go all day on this, and then just we'll get into the legs later. But that represents. That's how I would do it to create the male or the female. As I said, do the rough first, get everything lined up, then go back in and then put your puzzle pieces together, connect them, make sure they're connected. Everything's the right size, right length, and then go back and then draw your detail. And as I said, and that's another word I keep saying, once you decide what kind of costume this person has on, then a lot of those details will be covered up because they're covered up. And people won't, they won't see something that you obviously see, and you saying, oh, this is a great mistake that I made, and I'm too scared to publish this because people will laugh at me. But they won't see those little things that you see that are a mistake for you. They'll see your snazzy costume design, your action lines, your word balloons. So they won't really say, oh, that ab right there, or that belly button is wrong, or what have you. They'll be like, oh, okay, that's tight. So don't sweat the small stuff. Go ahead and put your book out, because it's a good time to say. Someone had asked me. He said he was one of my subscribers. I hope you subscribe. Asked about putting a book out. He said he could write, but he's not really a good drawer. And he showed me his drawings, and his drawings were good enough to actually do a book. And I told him, I said, a good story and okay art will sell, over the power of the story, and vice versa. Great art and an okay story will still sell. So your book will sell. And it depends. It might not sell to everybody. Like if you're doing an old Western, everybody might not want to be into Western. Some people might like sci-fi. So, it will sell to the group that you intended to. Just like if I do a children's book, and I do a children's book geared toward like kindergarten, kids. Kids in like middle school won't buy that, but it doesn't matter how good your art is. If you're not drawing like stick figures like this, then chances are your book will sell. You just practice more. In one of my videos, I showed you how to take a stick figure and make a full figure out of it, but I think YouTube took it off because I just got so many videos up, and YouTube will only give you so many videos that they're allowed to put up. And then they take it down. They start taking your videos down because to make room. So yeah, but stay with the channel and I'll show you all this stuff. So I'm still alive. So that, no matter how good or bad your drawing skills might be, I'll show you how to do what you need to do to make them better. That's why I'm here for now until YouTube starts tripping again. Then, as I say, I'm moving on to Udemy. But yeah, that should be it for this class. It's very simple to do the abs. Just don't try to, do the male abs in the female, because now, and then bring it in a little bit too. Not as much as the male, because you don't want to show the love handles, which are called, I don't know what they're called, but yeah. So that's going to be it with this one. I think it was some more information I wanted to share with you guys, but because I'm choking and I can't remember it right now, I'll let it go. So that's going to be it for this class. Short class. I'll see you guys in the next video.